Hello, it's Ashley, and welcome back to my channel, Learning Time with Ashley. Today, I am going to show you about the meanings and the definitions of learning English through stories. How does this work, and how you can learn words through that kind of method. Let's get started. So Karen Saxby is the author of the Story Fun series, published by Cambridge University Press. She also co-wrote the Funful series and is an experienced Cambridge English consultant. In this article, she explored how story can be used to make young people's language learning meaningful and memorable. As a child, I loved sitting on my grandfather's lap while he read me stories. I remember most of them, even though I'm now a grandparent too. As a child, I was blissfully unaware that as I listened to the stories, I was also learning new words and ways in which those new words combined to communicate ideas and life lessons. A good story encourages to turn the next page and read more. We want to find out what happened next and what the main characters do and what they say to each other. We may feel excited, sad, afraid, angry, or really happy. This is because the experience of reading or listening to a story is much more likely to make us feel that we are part of the story too. Just like our real lives, we may love or hate different characters in the stories. Perhaps we recognize ourselves or others in some of them. Perhaps we have similar problems. Because of the natural empathies with the characters, our brains process of readings of stories differently. From the way we read factual information, our brains don't always recognize the differences between an imagined situation and real ones, so the characters become alive to us. What we say and do is therefore more meaningful. That is why the words and structures that relate a story's events, descriptions, and conversations are processed in this deeper way. In fact, cultures all over the world have always used storytelling to pass knowledge from one generation to another. Our ancestors understood very well that this was the best way to make sure our histories and information about how to relate to others and to our world was not only understood but remembered too. Notice that word history contains the word story. More accurately, the word story derives from history. Encouraging our child to read or listen to stories should therefore help them to learn a second language in a way that is not only fun but memorable. Let's take a quick look at learning vocabulary within a factual text or within a story. Imagine the readers are 8 years old, interested in animals. In your opinions, are they more likely to remember and want to continue reading in the first or second text? Many birds and animals live in the world. For example, parrots, pandas, lions, leopards, and rabbits. In the seas, we can find whales, dolphins, sharks, and octopuses. My younger brother is called Fred. Fred is very interested in animals. He talks and asks questions about animals all the time. Fred is really interested in parrots and pandas, and lions and leopards and rabbits. But Fred's favorite animals live in the sea. He has pictures of whales, dolphins, sharks, and octopuses on all the walls of his background. When choosing second language storybooks, you might consider questions like: will your child easily identify with the central characters? Are they of similar ages, for example? Will the events interest and excite, scare, or amuse your child enough to motivate them to continue reading? Is the story an appropriate length, not too short or not too long? With the layout of the font, the titles, the amount of text on each page appeals to your child? Is it supported by the illustrations that your young readers will enjoy looking at? For your child to gain a maximum benefit in language learning from reading birth stories, consider the story's language level carefully. 2. Is the grammar and vocabulary not too easy but too accessible to the reader? Will the language be similar to that which your child might use the first language? Will it support schoolwork and help prepare for tests? Useful EFL's publications such as Story Funds for Starters, Movers and Flyers, and other greatest readers are carefully written with these important considerations in mind. But of course, stories don't only offer the young readers a chance to read. The experience also creates an opportunity to talk about your stories. As a parent, you can encourage your child to describe their favorite person, part of the story, or picture. The creativities might be developed by drawing new stories picture or even by writing their own short stories as a result. If your child is reluctant to read or has little confidence in their ability to read in other languages, you might help them by reading the story to them, stopping where necessary to interact and ask questions like, what do you think will happen next? If you read to your children in a relaxed and fun way, they will subconsciously relate to reading and language learning process more confidently and positively. Of course, being read to a parent for whatever reasons is also simply a lovely way to share quiet and close time. The experiences of reading and listening to a story allows us to escape our own lives for a moment and live in another one's, just a fun and safe way. In the same magical experience, a gold mines of language may be learned. So do encourage your child to read stories in their second language as well as their first. Thank you.